Origins of Mercury. A former member of the Hellions training squad, Mercury was a junior member of the X-Men. Her mutant power transformed her entire body into living liquid metal. Although continually struggling to accept her mutant form, she has made strong friendships with other young mutants under the X-Men's care. She is currently enrolled at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning. Before her powers manifested, Cecily Kincaid was a popular high school cheerleader in an Irish-American family. When her powers manifested at age 16, her body began to transmute from tissue to metal and she turned into a polymorphic puddle on the floor. She and her parents were horrified at her mutant condition, which seemingly left her body inorganic. However, her powers went deeper than that, and had actually changed her entire physiology into a malleable metal substance. Embarrassed by this, they kept her inside and out of public view before sending her to the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. Her parents never accepted Mercury after the activation of her X gene and were deeply ashamed of her. The Hellions. The Hellions. The Hellions. At the Institute, Cecily became part of the new Hellion squad, mentored by Emma Frost. Ms. Frost gave her squad the chance to choose their own codenames, and so Cecily named herself Mercury. In the Hellions, Mercury worked hard and made new friends. She developed a close sibling-like relationship with her squad leader Hellion. Her mutation, seemingly inorganic, made her immune to the death touch of Wither. She quickly developed a crush on Wither, and confided in Hellion how she felt. At a time when Wither wanted to leave the New Mutant squad, Hellion made an open invitation for Wither to join them. However, Wither enjoyed his new friends in the Hellion squad, and he remained infatuated with Wallflower, so Mercury's feelings were unrequited. Although she didn't push herself onto Wither, Mercury remained close to him and accompanied him to the school dance. Unfortunately, despite her efforts, he confessed to Hellion that he still had feelings for Wallflower during the dance. Kingmaker. During the summer break, the Hellions made an eventful journey to Hellion's home in California. They had already run into trouble with airport security because they didn't trust either Rockslide or Mercury, due to their noticeably mutated physiology. The situation was diffused when Hellion made a call to his family's lawyers, but this only served to enrage his parents. Therefore, the Hellions received a cold and bitter reception from Hellion's parents. This spurred them to search the house for any secrets with which to blackmail them. Instead, they found a spell to call the Kingmaker. They collected the various herbs and performed the spell, which involved making a telephone call. When the call was answered, they were asked for their names. After that, the ceremony seemed to end with an anticlimax. However, the next day the Kingmaker arrived at the house and offered to grant any of their wishes. Mercury's one wish was to be reunited with her parents who would love her. Sure enough, when she arrived home, her mother offered to take her out shopping, and her father introduced her to their neighbors. It was a dream come true for Mercury, and she enjoyed every moment with her loving parents. However, she was so happy that they had accepted her that Mercury hadn't considered what had happened to make her parents change their minds. The Kingmaker asked the Hellions to help him secure a biological weapon. Yet when they discovered that they had been tricked into stealing the weapon, they broke their deal with the Kingmaker. Unfortunately, the ramifications of severing their deal meant that Mercury's parents became aware of what had been done to them. They had been hypnotized by low-level telepaths, and when the process had been reversed, it made her parents fear and distrust Mercury even more. X-23's training alerted her to danger, but Mercury seemed oblivious. Aware that they were about to be attacked, X-23 defended her new friend. Unfortunately, the cafe detonated as it came under attack from facility agents. The girls were caught in the ensuing chaos, and X-23 cried for them to let her new friend go free. X-23 did not expect to see her former handler Kimura, who laughed at them and informed them that she wasn't there to collect X-23. They had been hired to kidnap Mercury. X-23 was powerless to defend herself or Mercury against Kimura. Defeated and desperate, she returned to the Institute to collect herself and any resources she could get her hands on. Her behavior started rumors, And when Hellion heard what was happening, he insisted on joining X-23 as she searched for Mercury. At the facility, Mercury was held in a test tube-like cell that prevented her from escaping in a fluid metal state. There, she was subjected to all kinds of torturous experiments that made her scream out and faint from the pain. When awake, she begged for her tormentors to let her go home. Instead, she was informed that they need her skin for the creatures that Weapon X had biological engineered. The creatures were created to order, designed to hunt down and kill mutants, on behalf of the Purifiers. While imprisoned, samples of Mercury's skin were successfully extracted and grafted onto 3 of the creatures. The collection of Predator X finally had a metallic skin that would be morphic and help heal any wound. It was likely that the process would have continued if it were not for the surprise attack by X-23 and Hellion. Freed by her teammates, Mercury then absorbed back her skin from 2 of the creatures, but one still managed to escape. Upon their arrival back at the mansion, Mercury passionately hugged X-23. She emotionally lamented over how terrible X-23's childhood must have been for her to have grown into such a ferocious fighter. Quest for magic. Despite how she is usually determined, passionate and lighthearted, Mercury was traumatized by her experiences at the facility. To make matters worse, she was then sucked into limbo by Belasco. Mercury and Dust did their best to fight off the demon lord and sorcerer Belasco as he tortured and killed their friends searching for Ileana Rasputin. Fortunately for her, Mercury's powers granted her immunity to magic. Together, the new X-Men defeated Belasco and Ileana sent them all back. Powers and abilities. Mercury has a unique physiology and exists as an inorganic, non-toxic metallic substance, not actually mercury. She is a metallic polymorph, able to shift into different shapes, both solid and liquid. In combat, she can use this ability to reshape her limbs into sharp and melee weapons. It has been stated that Mercury subconsciously keeps her hair its original reddish color. This seems to indicate that she can change color in addition to shape. At the moment, it is as much of her original appearance that she has retained. Mercury is also able to cling to surfaces, such as walls and ceilings, which in conjunction with her shape-changing grants her phenomenal stealthiness. However, the greatest consequence of her powers is that she is unable to revert back into her regular human form and therefore remains permanently in a metallic state. Additionally, she no longer requires food, water, or oxygen to survive, suggesting she may possess immortality. Although she does not need to eat, she does so anyway since it helps her feel more human. While she was held captive, it was revealed that her metal-based body can bond with carbon-based life, in a manner similar to symbiotes. It was in this manner that the Weapon X scientists bonded her metal to the tissues of their mutant-devouring beasts, Predators X. She was also able to feel the presence of the Predators X once they were bonded to her. As her body is made of metal, she is very hard to injure or damage with physical attacks. When Mercury's body is attacked in a physical assault, she can simply reassemble herself. The most notable injury she has sustained was when X-23 was forced to sever Mercury's hands with her adamantium claws and Mercury simply reattached her hands. It has been shown that she has a degree of resistance to magical attacks. She has immunity to biological assaults as she is no longer organic. Mercury is immune to Wallflower's pheromone powers and Wither's decay touch. As Wither's power affects all organic material, this therefore suggests that her body is completely non-organic, at the very least confirming that she is not a carbon-based life form. Being metallic, Mercury's main weakness is electricity. Large bursts of electric current can incapacitate her. Similarly, extreme amounts of heat can also damage her, as seen when a high-powered laser burned and removed pieces of her skin.